group of paladins led by Saint Soalina heads to deal with barbarians. However, while the paladins watch from behind, Soalina blames the barbarians for committing sin and disrupting the peace of their holy kingdom, after which she uses her magic and wipes out their band. The area where she attacks turns into a flower bed. The bishop seems to hate Soalina. Soalina asks Bishop if he will proceed with what she asked him, but Bishop says he didn't, since going outside of the nation's borders to investigate the accursed land is preposterous. However, when Soalina insists she would go herself, the bishop begrudgingly agrees to send a unit of paladins. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves have built a new throne and a meeting room for Takuto. They also give him a new attire they prepared with their best efforts, making Takuto quite happy. Atou then begins the domestic affairs with Moltar, Geir, and Emla. The first thing she discusses is their food supply. When Moltar asks, can't they produce it with magic? Atou scolds him and asks if he is planning to have their king prepare food for them all the time. She shows them a flesh tree, which produces fruits that taste like meat. Other than this, she tells Moltar they need a hut for storing the fruits and a building for stockpiling more food supplies. Then she moves the topic to research, explaining that the magic they are going to research is military magic, which can be used to attack thousands of enemies at once. At last, Geir expresses his desire to build an army, but Takuto and Atou refuse, since the maintenance cost is too high and it stands out too much. Moltar then reveals that both Geir and he have bounties on their heads for being the leaders of the Dark Elves. As such, Takuto decides to produce a hero who can alone be enough for defense and offense, though they won't understand what it means. Back in Qualia, a junior paladin named Lonius prays for aid, but is interrupted by a senior paladin named Verdal, who questions him about his family. Both of them are assigned to investigate the accursed lands with a group of mercenaries on the orders of Saint Soalina. Here, a new residential area is built in Minagra, which mostly consists of tree houses since Dark Elves specialize in it, but they still haven't completed building the houses since they are focusing on growing the flesh trees. They also built a public office, which is also Takuto's house for the time being. Emily asks if Takuto isn't satisfied with this. So Takuto says he is happy with this, and his words make Emily cry out of joy. After this, she takes them to the area where they have found a water spring, but turns out the spring has gone black. She, Moltar, and Geir worry that this isn't safe, but Atou then shows it by drinking the water from the spring that is actually safe, revealing that it blacked out because it is marked as cursed terrain, meaning it is an evil alliance territory. So, if the evil being uses it, it is quite beneficial, but for others it is harmful. Moltar and Geir worry that their country would be spotted easily if everything blacks out like this. However, Takuto reassures him that a hero would take care of this. When they still don't get satisfied, Atou shows them a demonstration of her power, revealing she is also one of the heroes, and it was just a 100th part of her power. Seeing this, Moltar decides that the only thing that should be prioritized now is to build a palace for Takuto. Though Takuto is hesitant at first before Atou convinces him. Takuto also hopes to build a flying castle someday, whose concept surprises the Dark Elves. Meanwhile, Lonius and Verdal lead their forces to infiltrate Minagra.